Today I wanted to talk about kind of one of the first stories I heard at the studio, and one that I really liked and love hearing again. It's about a student and his master who are traveling through some unknown land. Still back in a time where carriages were pretty common, and if you needed to go a long distance, the carriage was a really great way to get there. And the student and his master are at the station waiting to get on the carriage, and it's pouring with rain. People are doing their best to get their luggage on board. They're doing their best to keep themselves dry, keep themselves from getting rained on too much. And there's this one person who is being very rude to the coach staff, to the other travelers, and just being very demanding about the care for that person's luggage and making sure that them first. And the student and the master kind of just watch this and keep off to the side and don't be irritated as best they can with it. And everybody loads up on the coach, and they're on their travels. They're heading on to the next town. And the entire time this person's complaining about how bumpy the road is, how smelly the horses are, how damp everything is, how awful it is, and just ongoing, just non-stop complaining. Finally, they get to their destination, and people are getting off. And there's this giant puddle between the platform of the coach and the coach, and this person who's been complaining the entire time doesn't want to get their nice clothes all wet and muddy, and they're demanding that somebody helps them across. So the master, of all people, picks this woman up and puts her on the platform, which is against what this student and this master are allowed to do. The masters generally aren't allowed to touch women. Story from a long time ago. I didn't make the content, but it is what it is. And the woman doesn't even thank the master, keeps demanding that her luggage gets taken care of, and all this good stuff. A couple days later, the skies have cleared, the master and the student are walking, and the student's there humming and hawing, and it really doesn't sit well with him, where the master kind of broke one of the things that's so important to their art to help this old woman, and the old woman wasn't even thankful about it. And the master looks at his student and says, so what's on your mind? And he starts complaining about how this woman was so disrespectful, and given the circumstances, just, way too much, too rude, too complaining. And the master just looks at the student and says, you know what, I put that old woman down 2 days ago. You're still carrying her around with you. There's a lot of ways to look at this story. One of my favorites, especially given our current circumstances, is, take things for what they are. As much as you want something to be the way it is, it probably won't. And if you have that expectation, you put that expectation over top of it, which I am notoriously bad for, full ownership, it really sets it up for, not a great time of analyzing that situation. Whereas if you just see it for what it is, and it gives you the chance to say, you know what, that is what it is, I'm okay with that. Even if you're not okay with it, you don't need to hold on to it. And that's a really important thing. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day, and hopefully we'll catch you for the next live stream. Namaste.